Hello everyone, how are you all? Welcome back to the Phoneschematic Education. I hope all are you good. In this video, lesson 4 on a network session, we discuss about SDR IC, update version of the WTR IC. I mean to say our transceiver IC, RFIC. SDR means software defined radio system, right? So we discuss about the update version of the WTR IC, it means the SDR IC. Now, in last session 2 and 3, we discuss about the WTR IC voltage requirements, right? Along with that controlling section, RFFE protocols, also how the crystal works, how the clock generate for the CPU, how power IC generate the clock, how crystal IC generate the clock and give it to the power, how power produce other clock signals. Also for the RFIC, how baseband clock work, how sleep clock work, how RF clock and other IC need clock, how power IC distribute the clock signals, right? I hope you will learn something from the previous videos, right? Now in this video we discuss about the SDR IC. What is the difference between the WTR and SDR IC? Now SDR IC used in the latest phones replaced by the WTR IC. I mean to say place on the WTR IC, right? Most of the common problem in latest phones which SDR IC installed has baseband problem, right? SIM not detect, unknown baseband or other network issues, but on the WTR IC you will see the no service issues. So how we test the SDR IC, or what are the requirements of the SDR IC? How we diagnose the SDR IC are faulty or not? Let's start the video and let's go to the schematic and check out the how SDR IC work. Now let's go to the schematics and discuss about the SDR 660, or I mean to say SDR 660, right? Now before going to the schematics, right, first we see how the SDR IC look like. For this I am going to the component section. Now in this section you will see the component details, basically the IC detail, how many IC in the motherboard, also which IC or IC number, like right now in front of you like this is the Wi-Fi IC or WCN 3980 or 80. This number belong for the Wi-Fi IC in this model. Now you will see there is LCD connector. Now this is the main power IC. Which IC is this? PM 660. Clear? Now this one small IC. This was the charging IC. Basically this was the OVP IC, over voltage protection IC. I'm already told you in a lesson 1 or 2, right? In a charging section, when I start the videos uploading it in lesson 1, VBus VBAT lines, what is the OVP IC, how OVP IC work, and if this IC damage or open, how to bypass with a one jumper, right? Each and every detail. If you don't know about anything about OVP IC, just go and check out the my first and second video, right? Now after this was the 2GPA. How you recognize the 2GPA? First of all, connecting to the antenna socket. This was the antenna socket, right? I'm already told you in a network section lesson 1. connected to the antenna socket, also in a square shape, right? These are 2 GPA working as a antenna switch, also the power amplifier. Clear? Now this was the band pass filters, black and white, right? This band pass filters, this was the duplexers, band pass filters. Also this was the RF, our radio frequency or transceiver IC, SDR 660. In normal phones uses WTR, in latest phones uses SDR because the baseband inbuilt in this IC, that's why this IC is bigger than the WTR. Hope you get my point. Now on the other side, on the motherboard, there is a 4 GPA, right, on a rectangle shape PA, and this number belongs to the 4 GPA, right? Now on this side you will see only SDR and 2 GPA on a network section. This was the network section all, but on the other side you will see a 4 GPA. Clear? So move on to the other side. Now this was the 4 GPA and this was the audio IC, audio amplifier IC. How audio IC work, I will explain to you in upcoming videos when the audio section start. Now this is the our main master IC CPU chipset SDM 660, or this was the second power IC, power PM 66L. I'm already told you in 2 power IC concept, when behind the L, that means this was the second power IC. This IC also working as the power IC because there is, you will see multiple buck lines, this line connected to the CPU also, right? Also this was the charging IC, right, plus graphic IC, also the power. Yes, this IC connected with the CPU also with the buck lines, also create the LDOs, also made VPH. If you don't know about this IC, just go and watch this video. There is a MMC or UFS. Clear? Now you will see the SDR IC in this model. Just a second, right? This one SDR 660. So today we discuss about this IC, how this IC work, what are the voltage requirements. Now I will show you in a network section this IC motherboard view under the without this IC. So this was the network section, and you will see in a network section this was the SDR IC. There is more lines except to the WTR IC. Now how this IC work, let's discuss this. So first we go to the layout and copy the WTR IC. So this is our WTR IC. Just copy it and paste in diagram, or you can say schematics. Next, so we can type it manually U1501 and next. Now zoom SDR 660, right? This is the C section. That means this IC has a multiple section. Now next, A, C, B, E, D, A, B, C, D. That means this IC has a 5 sections. A, B, C, D, E, right? Now before choosing this model, I had decided a Motorola model which had this IC installed. So I could teach you in a Motorola company model, but there is only a schematic and layout. There is no motherboard view, or you can say hardware solution, also the bitmap. I am go with the Redmi model because you can understood better way when you will see more charts or more diagrams. You can understand better. That means you did not think that if any phone had no schematics or any hardware solution or any bitmap, nothing is available, so you can't repair it. You will repair it with your experience, with your learning skills, right? The experience comes for the practice, right? You can repair a phone without schematics. I will teach you how to read data sheet any IC, how to learn how to see data sheet any IC. And I am always said, don't look at the model or company. When a phone come to you, don't look at the model, which model or which company our phone come to repair. I'm always said, when a phone come to you, don't look at the company or model name, right? If you do not have a schematics, you can repair with the IC number, which IC, power IC or your chipset master IC install. You can repair it looking other diagrams, right? So don't worry, I will teach you each and everything in upcoming videos, how to repair any phone without schematics, right? Now back to the topic. Now in E section you will see there is a DRX, diversity, higher band, middle band, lower band, or PRX, primary receiving, higher band, middle band and lower band. These lines, I will tell you these lines, how these lines work, PRX and DRX, in upcoming videos in a network section. So just follow the channel. So I will tell you these lines, how these lines work, right? Now, but before going to these, just next, which section is this? C section, and this was other. This section belongs to the power section, right? So we will discuss about first voltage section, power section. What are the requirements of the SDR 660, right? If any voltage miss, this IC does not work. Or mostly common fault, if the SDR not working or not requirement does not fulfill, if any line short, input line short or open on the SDR IC, you will see your SIM not detected. Most common fault. When you check Imei on a dialer mode, you will see a 00 or question mark, right? When you go to the setting and check the baseband number, there is a unknown. These are the common faults. Through these faults, you will decide work on a SDR IC, right? Now you will see there is a first VRAC L2A 1.0, that means voltage regulator, LDO 2 1.0, right, or 1.0. In this line you will get 1 voltage. Now this line comes from the power IC. VRAC means voltage regulator, LDO produce power IC. So this line come from the power IC. Now in this line you will see first this capacitor. In this capacitor you will check 1 voltage. Now where is this? Just copy it and paste in layout. Now you will see C1505, this one, right? Now in the in this section you will see this cap. You will get 1 volt here, right? If you did not get 1 volt here, then work on a power IC, power controller, or check this line for the diode mode, if this line open or short, right? Now next, go to the schematic again. Now after this you will see through this line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 line emerge through this line, and this line connected to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12 balls, or you can say 12 points, right? So you can check here 1 voltage. Also each and every line or every component 1 volt, right? In this line you will see in last capacitor you will check 1 volt here. How you find this capacitor? Just double click it and paste in layout, right? You must have to check 1 volt here, 1 volt here, 1 volt here, right? Also in this capacitor, these 3 capacitor also you will check 1 volt, right? If any one of this capacitor, suppose this line connected, you will get all these lines connected, but somehow this capacitor or this capacitor you do not get 1 volt. You will get 1 volt here, you will get 1 volt here, also the 1 volt here, but this capacitor you did not get 1 volt here. So that means your SDR IC does not work. So how to solve this problem? Just take a jumper and take this capacitor, right? Your problem solved. Now next line, now I will draw this line first. Now let's move on to the diagram and draw it first. These line, voltage regulator L2 1.0, right? Now in front of you there is a diagram. In this diagram you will see a power IC, power controller, also the SDR IC 660, right? A one line emerge from the power IC, right? In this line you will get first a filter cap. Now this line called voltage regulator L2A, that means VRAG LDR 2, from LDR 2A 1 voltage. When you measure in this line you will get 1 volt. Now this line connected to the SDR IC with the 7 different ways, right? Now how many balls this line connected? Let me see in a schematics. This line connected with the 7 different ways. Now how many balls? Ball number 77, 37, 107, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? Now that means this line connected to the 12 pins, right? This line connected to the 12 pins. Now how do you test this line or measure this line? Maybe this not are 12 pins. Now maybe this line connected to this line connected to this, like this, right? Are 12 volts. This line like this. Now how do you check this line or measure this line? First the main capacitor filter. In this line first you get measure diode value, right? On this value you will get 350 to 500 according to the multimeter, right? Also you will get 1 volt, right? If you get here 1 volt, after you will check each and every line connected component. You will see in a schematic, in this line each and every line connected a filter cap. You will measure each and every line connected to this IC. You will get a 1 capacitor filter cap. You will already see in the schematics, right? So you will measure all these capacitor, or you can say you will check all these capacitor for the diode value, also for the 1 volt. If you did not get any capacitor 1 volt, or in another lines you will get 1 volt, in any line you did not get 1 volt, so just make a jumper from another capacitor which will you get 1 volt to this point where you did not get 1 volt. Hope you get my point. The work is not finished here. If you check, suppose all these line, you will get 1 volt, right? That doesn't mean this line completely okay. Maybe for some reason this line not connected internally. This line, this board, suppose this board disconnected somehow. If this board does not connect, your IC does not work. How to check? I will tell you in this video before I will complete all these lines. Whole process I will tell you, right? Now go to the schematics first. I hope you get my point, what I am saying to you. You will check all these components for 1 volt. If any line short, suppose this component short, that means this whole line completely short from the power IC. Or if is this line LDO2 is important from protocol, suppose this line also connected the or playing the major role in a boot sequence or any protocol, after this line short, if your phone on a restart or dead condition. If this line only connected normal work, no major protocol, so this line does not affect. But most of the time, if LDO line short, your phone on restart mode or dead condition. So on other hand, if this line open, your phone is a on condition, your phone has a no network. Hope you get my point. Also one thing remember, in most of the cases, if SDR requirement is not fulfilled or SDR damage, your phone on a dead condition in most of the cases. But in WTR, if you open the WTR from the phone, your phone turning on, but in no service or no network. But on a SDR cases, which phone had a SDR, if you remove the SDR, most of the phone are dead condition. Hope you get my point. So you will remember little things in your mind when you work on your table, when you repair the phone, right? Now I will show you this line in a hardware solution and a bitmap also, so you can better understand. Now in a hardware solution, now this cap is the main cap, so this line connected to the main cap, obviously another capacitor. So this line connected to the only the one bowl. In a schematics, this line connected to the 12 balls, right? If you work on this method, right, sometime it does not work properly. Now I will show you in a bitmap. Now sometime a bitmap also give you a wrong information, right? Let's see. In this case, now this capacitor C1505, right, 1505. Let me see in schematics. C1505, right? So this capacitor, now click this. Now this capacitor, this line comes from the LDO 2A through power IC. This is the power IC, right? Now this line connected to the how many balls? These green line balls, right? 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. So you can see here in bitmap, you will see these 4 capacitor also connected with the SDR IC. Also these 2 capacitor, these are filter caps, 2 caps here, right? So 7 ways connected 12 balls, right? I hope you get my point. Now get back to the schematic for another. Now I hope you will get this point. Now after this you will see voltage regulator L12A 1.8. first one L2, so don't be confused. This one the L12 voltage regulator L12A 1.8. on this, in previous line you will get 1 volt through L2 LDO. On this line LDO 12A 1.8 line, VDD analog, voltage drain to drain analog 1.8. So same process, you will check each and every component. If you check this line, suppose this component for 1.8, right, that's enough before removing the IC, right? First diode value, after you will measure a voltage 1.8. if you get 1.8, that means this line completely okay. How do you check? Turning on your phone, right? In a network section, you do not check connect the charger, remove the battery, right? In a network section, if you want to properly measure, check with the proper SIM and turning on your phone, right? Don't apply the charging method here if you are a beginner, right? In these capacitor, insert SIM and turning on your phone, after you will check, right? 1.8 volt also the diode value. Now this line connected to the 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 points. So let's first draw it. The another line comes from the power IC, voltage regulator 12A 1.8. this line connected to the 4 different ways with the 8 balls. This line connected to the 12 balls, this line connected to the 8 balls. In this line you will get 1.8 volt. So same process, you will check each and every component on each and every line, right, for 1.8. this process before removing the SDR IC, right? Now next, same, go to the schematics. If you want, I will tell you in a hardware solution first. So let me see here, hardware solution. There is another line, LDO 12, right, LDO 12A. So this line comes from the power IC and connected to the this cap, and this cap only one ball. If you work behalf on a hardware solution, you will see the result, right? How good is it? You will see the result. Clear? Now let's go to the schematic. Now after this, now in WTR IC, remember are two major voltages, 1.8 and 1.0. Remember, right? 1.8 connected one ball and 1.0 connected with the three balls, right? But in the SDR IC, you will see why the SDR bigger, because every line connected many balls. The another voltage, 1.2 voltage, the third voltage regulator L7. This voltage come from the L7, LDO 7, 1.8. So this line also connected to the how many balls? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 balls. So same process, you will check each and every filter on a diode mode, also the voltage. If you get here voltage, that means this line properly connected here. Does not mean connected under the IC. That means this line properly okay between this filter cap, where you check voltage from this to this, this to this, this to this whole line become okay. Doesn't mean this line connected to the this ball. For this, how do you check? When you remove the IC, you will check the connectivity on the beep mode with multimeter, right? One probe on this ball 108 and one probe on this capacitor. You get a beep, that means, or 00, that means this line connected properly. After this, you will one probe here or one probe each and every one line, one by one you will check for the beep. If you get a beep, that means these all balls are connected. If any ball does not had a beep sound or show 00 or only OL, that means this line had a open. For this, you just make a jumper from the nearby ball which had connected same line. I hope you get my point. Also, when you remove the IC, you will check here diode value. You will get power IC diode value, LDO diode value from 300 to 500. Okay, hope you get my point. So now this is the third voltage. Now another voltage regulator L7, LDO 7 from 1.2 volt. This line also connected to the mini balls. So I'm also tell you how do you check. I will tell you again. Suppose these all voltages you measure or testing, these all voltages are okay, each and every line or each and every component. Now after that, in your mind, the SDR is maybe SDR failure, this SDR IC faulty. So replacing time, when you remove this IC under the motherboard, these tracks, you will check or you will apply the method I will tell you, right? Suppose this capacitor, if you get 1.8 volt here, that means this line connected here to here, okay. Does not mean this connected line to the connected to the here, this pole. So for this, you will two things. First, you will get a diode value here. If you get a diode value, that means this line, this from this pole connected. So you can check other balls for the diode value, also for the beep mode method. I will tell you how. Clear? If you have any question, then comment me. So let's move on to the schematics. Now in a hardware solution, forget about hardware solution, there is a so complication. Hardware solution is a must important when when fault is in a normal condition, right? So you can use a hardware solution. I'm not saying hardware solution is not worth it. Most of the time you will work done through hardware solution in a short period, but when you stuck in a complicated fault, right, then work on with the schematics in a proper way. If you have a short time period, for this you will measure the voltages through the hardware solution, right? All things are important, right, according to the time or fault, right? Now if I will teach you SDR first after the WTR, you might be confused. You did not understand the how SDR work, right? So in teaching, basic work will be priority first. So after you will understood on next level a complicated thing, because SDR had multiple voltages, or you can say more than 3 voltages, 4 voltages. In WTR you will see only 2 voltages. So it's a easy task to understand. If you understand WTR working, you will understand easily the SDR working, but it's complicated according to the WTR. Now you will see first 3 voltages 1.0, 1.8 and 1.2. Now next voltage regulator L3 1.0. In this line you will see as this capacitor 0 ohm resistance, 0 ohm resistance. If this resistance open, your IC does not work. If this resistance, right? Now where is this resistance? For this, just copy it and paste in layout section. There also might be some confusion, because here a resistance show in a series, right? So capacitor in a symbol. Let me see what is capacitor or resistance. For this, again go to the layout and next. Now this, according to the bitmap, there is a capacitor C1529. Now in a motherboard view, let me see what was it. Now this is a resistance in a motherboard, right? Again going to the layout section, right? This C1529, the bigger 2 capacitor in middle one, right? This one, right? C1529. So again go to the, this is the motherboard view. So you can see there is a resistance connected both ways. So sometimes schematic also get confused, but you have when you repair on a motherboard, you will see if you add a knowledge. So there is a capacitor, there is a resistance. So if this resistance damage, the line will be open, or your SDR does not work. For this you just make a jumper between both ends, right? So there is a resistance, not capacitor. This was the mistake, right? Now drawing diagram first. After 3 voltages, another voltage regulator L3 1.0 volt, right, connected with the multiple ways or in a SDR IC in multiple balls. How do you check this line? Same process. Now in this line you will get a resistance here. If this resistance damage, the SDR IC does not work because the requirement is not fulfilled. So you just take a jumper from this to this, because this is a zero ohm resistance, no value resistance, right? So how do you check this line? Same, I will tell you, same as like this. Each and every component, every filter cap for the diode value and one voltage. Now there is a, you will see there is a through LDO 2 or LDO 3, same 2 times 1 voltage. This IC need 2 voltages 1 volt. Also, again back to the schematic, I will show you something. Now after this, another line called voltage regulator L3 13A 1.8. In this line you will also see capacitor 168 or resistance 0 ohm resistance. This is not a or, this is a 0 O, 0 R behind R, that means 0 ohm resistance. So there is a resistance. If this resistance also open or damage, 1.8 volt does not connect. So this line connected only one ball, VDD, voltage drain to drain, right? In this line you will get 2 capacitor, filter cap, also 1 resistance. So draw it. Another line comes from the 13 LDO 13 1.8 volt. In this line you will also see a resistance. So you can check in a resistance for 1.8 volt. If in both ends, I will tell you. So there is a resistance. First you check 1.8 here. Also you will check 1.8 here. If you get 1.8 here or did not 1 point get here, that means your resistance open. So make a jumper, right? Also you will see there is a 2 1.8 voltages, 2 1.0 voltage and 1.2 voltage 1, right? So that was the difference WTR and SDR voltage requirements. Hope you get point. How do you check these voltages from the SDR IC, right? If you have any question or any query, comment this video. If you like this video, hit the like button. Support this channel for motivate me. Thank you. Love you all.